Hello and welcome to SMARTChess Channel Immortal Game Series. Today we shall analyze the famous Opera House game by Murphy. Let us first know the players. Paul Charles Murphy, born 22nd June 1837 and died 10th July 1884, was a chess prodigy born in New Orleans, USA. He was considered the greatest chess player of his time and was also considered the unofficial world chess champion at that time. He is said to have self-taught chess at an early age by observing others playing chess. He became the US chess champion in 1857 at the age of 20, but 2 years later, that is in 1859, at the young age of 22, he retired from competitive chess and never played competitive chess thereafter. Now about the players with black pieces. The opponents of Murphy were two strong chess amateurs. One is the German noble Karl II, the Duke of Brunswick, and the second one is the French aristocrat Count Issoire de Rouenaglou. Okay, now let's go into the game. Murphy with white pieces moves e4. Black plays e5, then f3 by Murphy, and d6 by black. Now we have what is called the Philidor's defense, named after the French chess player Francois André Danic and Philidor. He was also a music composer and a chess legend. d4 by Murphy. Bishop to g4, d into a4. Okay, suppose if instead d into a4, then bishop into f3. Suppose if instead they have played pawn takes e5, then queen takes queen check, king into queen, then knight takes e5, threatening knight into f7 fork. So that is why they played bishop takes f3. Murphy takes takes back, queen into f3, then d into e5. Now bishop to c4, threatening checkmate. Knight to f6, developing and blocking checkmate. Now queen to b3. Both the bishop and queen are now attacking the f7 square, and the queen is also attacking the b7 pawn. Queen to e7, defending the pawn on f7. Knight to c3, defending the pawn on e4. Now c6, defending the pawn. Suppose white played queen into b7, threatening queen into rook, then black would have played q into b4 check, q into queen, bishop into queen check, and then c3, attacking the bishop, and bishop has to return. Or there is another move. It has another possibility also, bishop into f7 check, and queen into f7, queen into b7, bishop to c5. Then white can go for the rook, or it can go for the other rook by giving check on c8. So q into c8 check, king moves to e7, then we have q into h8, then bishop takes f2 check, king to e2. But if king into f2, then we have queen to knight into e4 check, king to e7, e1, then queen to f2, and king to d8, and so on. Going back, pawn to c6, now bishop to g5, pinning the knight against the queen. Now black plays b5. This is not a good move. Knight into b5. White is sacrificing a knight for better attack. C into b5. Suppose after knight into b5, if queen b4 check, then queen into queen, then bishop into queen check, and c3, and after bishop returns, or if knight pawn takes knight, then bishop into pawn check, knight to d7, and then c into b4. Okay, going back. In our game, c into d5 was played. So bishop into b5 check, knight b to d7, white castles queenside, and by castling this rook is attacking the knight a second time. When you have a pinned piece, attack the pinned piece as many times as you can. That is why white castled queenside and attack the knight at d7 with this rook. So rook to d8, defending the knight. Rook into d7. This is an exchange sacrifice to weaken the back rank of black, because the queen cannot take the rook because of this bishop. The knight can also cannot take the rook because of the pin. So the only move is rook into d7. Now this rook is pinned against the king, and so white attacks the rook, the pinned rook, with the other rook, and this knight cannot capture because the knight is pinned. So queen moves to e6, unpinning and also attacking the queen, offering for a trade of queens. But of course white is not interested in trading queens, so he goes for bishop into d7 check. Now this knight is no longer pinned, so it captures the bishop. Now queen b8 check, brilliant move. There is no move for the king cannot move because the e7 square is covered by the bishop. So the only possible way is to capture the queen, and then we have rook to d8 checkmate. This rook and bishop checkmate is now called the opera mate and considered one of the standard checkmating patterns. Okay, and that's all. Hope you enjoyed the game. Feel free to share your comments and feedbacks in the comments. And yes, chess makes you smarter. Bye for now.